What's going on, everybody? This week on Hunt Camp, we are heading down to Texas to see a relative of mine. We're going to see my Uncle Ted Nugent. Now, this particular segment of Texas, we went to Texas and did a lot of deer killing last year. And not all of it even made the show. We have whole segments of the trip that nobody will ever get to see, but one of them we wanted to share with you guys was our trip to the Spirit Wild Ranch to see my Uncle Ted Nugent.
Way to go.
Oh, man.
That's a keeper.
Thank you, Dick Sporting Goods, for
Just
your
with
awesome
the doctor.
AR
What
kit.
kind of punks? What kind of punks go, hey, consumer, I want your money, but I'm going to deny you your rights because I think you're guilty of some evil crime, even though it's indescribable.
Don't even know what it is, man.
Anti-hunters that run, what is it?
I
I can't think of the name of it.
Shields or
No, Shields is good.
Yeah,
Shields
that's
are
pretty
good
good.
guys. Cabela's, Bass Pro are good guys. Up in Michigan, Jay's good guys. A lot of great dedicated, real conservation, freedom, celebrating mom and pop sporting goods chains. That's really what Cabela's is still. It's still a mom and pop.
yeah,
It still
just a
employs
success
moms and
story.
pops.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the other one. They stopped sponsoring Spirit of the Wild TV because I killed a lamb on TV to eat lamb. They said that was cruel. So all these millions of people, tens of millions of people around the world that eat lamb, you condemn them?
Yeah.
Because that's what I did, and
Yeah.
you're condemning it. So anybody that does what I do, you're condemning, which is your fellow man. Your fellow man wants tender, delicious meat called lamb.
Right. What difference does it make how old it is or how ugly it is? Because that's what people base it on.
Well, I can see killing a hog, but not a
young
beautiful
and
deer.
cute, but yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
Nazi. That's aesthetic Nazism.
Yep, exactly. What it is.
These can die because I don't like the way they look, but
I don't
these
like
need to
them.
live because
Well,
I like the way they look.
That shows
How
you the way
cheap
they're
can
gonna
you
treat
get?
you. If you think about it, that shows you the way they're going to treat people.
Yes.
Well, we'll let these people do what they want because they're pretty and they're like me or whatever they want
That's
to think,
right.
and they carry that crap over into.
If you want real
voting
racism and real segregation, just listen to the anti-hunters, the anti-gunners,
where
the
you'll
generally
find it.
liberals and Democrats. It's a shame. But meanwhile, no matter how goofy the world gets, I'm one happy bow hunting,
That's what I love
guitar
about you,
playing,
man.
American dream, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, son of a because I fight the negative
Yep.
and I maximize the positive.
Yep. Well, and that's what more people. It's easy to slip down the rabbit hole of figuring all these horrible facts out about what people are actually trying to do to our freedom, and then you get real negative. And you got
Well,
that's
I
the
don't allow
part that our side need to shake off. A lot of guys you'll see them walking around just pissed off all the time, and instead of like you're saying, fight what you need to fight, but then also you've got
Yep.
your sanctuary.
Celebrate the good,
Yep.
crush the bad and the ugly.
Yep.
Here's the ultimate, and here's what the bureaucrats and the freedom destroyers have on their side. So I worked with the Speaker of the House, Tom Leonard, in Michigan. In Michigan, and I think in a lot of states still, I know Illinois, Pennsylvania, there's a number of states where by law you have to have your bow in a case
Yeah.
when it's in your four-wheeler or your
Yep.
truck.
Illinois, I remember
What
that.
role does a bow case play? It plays no role except maybe to keep dust off your bow, which is nobody's business. So people are getting fines, I mean serious fines, and people
yeah.
are quitting the sport,
Yep.
not just because some overzealous, power-abusing, oath-violating conservation officer, and if you're not power-abusing and oath-violating, you don't have to feel guilty. But if you sense a little bit of guilt right now, you would be guilty. Only the guilty need to feel guilty, but there are some hot dog conservation officers out there giving tickets, not just because a guy didn't have his bow in a case in his truck. It's in his truck.
Yeah.
The case wasn't zipped up all the way, and he got a ticket and a fine. And I mean, I've heard from dozens like that.
Yeah.
So I worked with House Speaker Tom Leonard to eliminate the nonsensical, arbitrary, capricious, punitive bow case law in Michigan. We got it thrown out. We have a document. It was concluded. Everyone knew that we got rid of that stupid law. The Michigan DNR, terrible people. They didn't put that upgrade in the current regulations. Guys were still being ticketed for not having their bow in the case, even though it wasn't the law. They were still being ticketed for not having their bow case zipped up all the way. But to fight it, with the dishonest, power-abusing bureaucrats, it would have cost more to fight it in court than to pay the terrible hundreds of dollars fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they backed off. Don't back off. So I got a hold of
yeah,
Tom
that's the
Leonard,
point.
and I got a hold of Republican elected employees in Michigan, and I go, it's not the law. People are getting ticketed for something that they didn't break.
Yeah, yeah.
So we sent it to the DNR, the letter that confirmed that you don't have to have your bow in a case, but guys are still being ticketed.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm
law,
the
too.
crazy guy. People who disagree with me are the crazy guys. So you got to keep
and
fighting.
the real, see, here's the thing. On the far side, those people are whacked out of their mind and they're evil people. In the middle is the problem. Because these guys that
Apathy.
are like, well, I guess a 10-round mag, I can get by with that, and I guess that'll be okay, and then it just...
Or the gun owners that said, well, I don't see why you need an assault weapon, or you can't hunt grouse with an assault weapon.
Yeah.
So they claim to be a gun owner. They claim to believe in the Second Amendment, but they're willing to compromise
The word need comes up too much.
Unbelievable.
You don't need an AR-15. You know, a lot of my family members had that mentality, and I had to change their mind and remind them, because I think we get so spoiled rotten in America, and well, my thing's hunting and your thing might be hunting, and we're just hunting and having a good time, and we're so spoiled that you forgot somewhere along the way that the Second Amendment's got absolutely nothing to do with shooting a deer.
Nothing.
Not a damn
Couldn't
thing.
So yeah, and by the way, here it is in a nutshell, if I can throw out the Uncle Ted conclusion. Do you have your government-issued permit for your First Amendment?
Absolutely
Did
not.
you go get?
I don't
Oh, you
need
didn't need one.
No.
How about for your Third Amendment? Do you have your government-issued paperwork, your permit
Yep.
for any of the Bill of Rights amendments? No, except one.
Yep.
How did we allow the self-evident truth-based God-given individual right guaranteed by the Second Amendment, how did we get it to be a state's issue? My First Amendment, how many states do you have a First Amendment?
Every single
50.
one. Yeah.
Every amendment is self-evident truth, individual guaranteed right in 50 states, except the Second Amendment.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Why every 5 years I got to pay $50 and fill out paperwork so I can carry my pistol under my shirt as opposed to over it?
So I keep fighting. By the way, here's the bottom line. If you're not a member of the NRA, the enemy would like to thank you. If you don't continually and consistently communicate with your elected employees that there is an engineered recidivism plaguing America. A lot of people asked me last night on Facebook, what do you mean engineered? I mean that all these repeat offenders that are at the mall and at their restaurant, the court knew that they were savages. They knew they were convicted of violent crimes, and they early released them. They plea bargained and they paroled them. They've engineered. They know they're going to repeat the crime, and they let them out anyway. That's engineered recidivism. My life is a gift from God. I have a date with Mrs. Nugent, and I have the right, whether it's on a piece of paper or not, I know instinctively I have a right to keep, which means it's mine, you can't have it, and bear, which means it's not in my truck, it's not in the safe, it's not at the gun club, I'm bearing it. Bear only means one thing. It's on your person. Mm-hmm. How did that unambiguous declaration ever become so compromised and destroyed where Massachusetts, Maryland, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, California, a number of states, there is no Second Amendment, because if you can't keep and bear, your elected employees are breaking the law. Yep. So that's the simple 1 + 1 = 2 battle cry of my life, and I'm sure you've seen me say that in the media all my life. Sure. And nobody can argue with me because it says I can keep and bear. And I've got a Webster's dictionary if you want me to help me describe what those words mean. But you've already violated the Constitution by infringing on my clear and unambiguous individual right from God, as guaranteed by the Constitution, to keep and bear arms in America. In America, in any building, on any street, in every city, in every state. My First Amendment is good there. So is my Second Amendment, whether somebody believes it or not. I happen to know it's true.
And the second is the only thing keeping the first around, or any of the other ones.
Well, keep raising hell.
Yes, sir.
Turn
I'll
them
do it,
red.
man. We'll do it, man.
All right, man.
Me too, brother.
You are my red arrow blood brother. I'm going to go get on the media right now and see if I can't scare some idiots into Harry Carey.